Hey guys, I'm Phaedra from All Things Phaedra, and this is actually Weekend Phaedra. So I bring you a lot of cars, travel, and entertainment, but today I am bringing you a stair update. And it's good that she's here because she's a big part of what I'm going to show you today. First of all, my stairs still look beautiful and I still love them. I completely redid them about 3 months ago and I'm still very happy with the result. But I have detected 3 problems and I'm going to show you how to fix all 3 of these problems if this is something that you run into. We're going to have to get up close and personal to see some of these problems. Here's the first one. Can you see the stairs? So when you have a dark color like this, it is going to show every little bit of dirt, dust, and if you have a short-haired dog that sheds, like I do, you're going to need to keep these stairs clean a lot. So the solution to this one is just dust and vacuum more. The second problem is when you have an 80-pound dog, she tends to completely scratch up the surface of the stairs. So this is very, very disappointing because down here we have bamboo, and bamboo is very hard surface, not a single scratch. So the way that I've tried to alleviate that is simply to put a gate up here at the bottom of the stair so that the dogs don't have free rein. But why is this happening? And this comes to the third problem, and that is these stairs are freaking slippery as I don't know what. So when you're walking up and down the stairs, if you've got shoes on, you're fine. But if you have socks on, you better hold on for dear life. And if you are a dog, you are probably going to slip multiple times down the stairs. So what am I going to do about this? Well, 2 things. First of all, I'm going to repair all of these scratches. It is a pain because I already have done it once. And I don't think it's the finish, I think it's the fact that it's an 80-pound dog sliding down the stairs. I'm not sure any finish would be able to handle that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sand down the areas, and I'll take you along with me, sand them down, add a little more stain, add a little bit more finish coat. That's really just a one-day project. The biggest inconvenience is waiting for it to dry. And the way we're going to fix that is by installing a carpet runner, which isn't really what I wanted, but I'm not opposed to it. I found this beautifully patterned stair runner on Amazon of all places. It's got a beautiful design, very thick pile. And so I'm going to show you how to install that. The other thing that I got besides a 25-foot roll is some padding. So I got this padding because I'm going to want to protect the treads on the stairs. Now you may be saying, well, if you're just going to put a runner down, why bother fixing the scratches? Well, what I want to do is I want to get the floor into a pristine condition, and then I'm going to protect it with the padding and with the stair runner. And what that's going to do is that's going to make sure that it doesn't scratch again and that my dogs and me can easily go up and down the stairs without slipping. So the only thing that makes this project a little complicated is that we do have this landing, this 90-degree right angle in the landing, but I've scoped it all out and I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to do it. And if it doesn't work out, then I'm probably not going to publish this video. But if you're watching this, that means it did work out. And so we're going to get started. First thing I'm going to do is start with cleaning the stairs. And if you've watched my channel before, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, I've reviewed a lot of vacuums in my day, and I did a video review of this vacuum years ago. It's the Shark Rotator, and it is still hands down my favorite vacuum. There's my troublemaker. Next thing I'm doing is simply wiping down each step by hand, making sure it's dirt and dust free, and then I'm going to wipe it with a clean, lint-free rag. Now that the stairs are clean and mostly free of debris, I've blocked it off so no more hair can be deposited. And I'm just gonna use a fine grit, actually extra fine grit sandpaper. This is 400 sandpaper, and I'm just gonna lightly sand where the scratches are. So I'm not attempting to smooth out the surface. I'm not gonna putty it in or fill in the scratches. I really just wanna get rid of the look of the scratches. So what I'm gonna do is just sand it down a little, and that will dull it and allow me to put stain over top of the scratches. So I'm finished going through all the different spots that need repair. You can see the areas. Yeah, there are a lot. And the problem is the dogs know how to go slow down the stairs. It's just when someone comes to the door, they get very excited and they forget, and then they slip all the way down. This is where you can see most of the issues are. So next what I'm going to do is repeat the process and simply use a paper towel with warm water and then a lint-free rag to clean up all of this dust. So I've got my stain here. This is what I use to do my stairs. So this repair is assuming that you were the one that originally did your staining in the first place. So this is a gel stain that I use from Varathane. And this is also why it's always good to keep your leftovers. Gel stain can be messy. So I'm going to use a latex glove and a lint-free cloth. And you're going to be shocked at how easy the application is. So you can see here's an area that I lightly sanded, and all I'm doing is to make sure that I have a surface for adhesion. I just put a little bit of the stain on here, and all I'm going to do is just gently wipe it over the area. There you go, problem solved. Now I just have to do that on all the other scratches and stairs. Now that I've got the stairs completely repaired, or repaired enough, I filled in everything with the stain. I let the stain cure for about 24 hours. It's actually been a little bit longer. And then I had to get a damp cloth and wipe the whole thing down again because dog hair. Now all I'm going to do is just apply that top coat again to the top of the stairs, let it dry for about 2 hours, then I'm going to apply it again. And I'm going to wait about 3 days then for it to fully cure, maybe even a little longer, before I start the Stair Runner project. Okay, stairs have been repaired, and now it is time to get ready for the installation of the Stair Runner. And I have opted to put some carpet padding underneath. I'm doing this for 2 reasons. The first one is to give it, obviously, some padding, and the second one is to protect the hardwood floors underneath so that the rougher back of the Stair Runner doesn't damage the finish. Not that I'll be taking it off anytime soon. So the first thing I did was measure. I used measuring tape like this. I measured the stair tread, and I measured it from the back of the stair all the way to underneath the tread, and then I gave a little extra. You don't have to be exact there. And then I cut them for all of the stairs, and I also cut them for the landing. We'll see if my geometry skills are good here. Now my Stair Runner is actually 26 inches wide, and my padding is 22 inches wide. So that means that's a 4-inch difference. So we're gonna have 2 inches on each side of the carpeting where it is not going to have padding underneath, and I think that's going to be okay for this. But to get this installed, I took the width of the stair, which is 34 inches, subtracted the width of the padding, which is 22 inches, and I'm left with 12 inches. So I measured in 6 inches on one side only, and just put a piece of tape. This is the delicate surface tape, so it doesn't harm the finish of the stairs. And then as I go, I'm just going to line up the padding right beside the tape, and it doesn't have to be exact. Now, in order to secure it, and this is the same way that I'm going to do the Stair Runner, is I've got a pneumatic nailer. Actually, it's a pneumatic stapler right now. We've got staples loaded in here, and we are using 5/8 inch, and It helps to have a test piece of wood so that you can adjust the intensity, the pressure of the staple so it doesn't drive it in too hard. Our first test, we drove it in so hard that it actually went straight through the padding and didn't hold it. But we're just going to put maybe like 4 staples in on the top only, and that's just to hold it in place so it doesn't move around underneath the stair runner itself. It's going to get secured because we're going to use more staples as we install the carpet runner. So let's go ahead and get started on this. As you can see with the stapler, it's pretty quick work. Now that everything's cut, you just line it up next to the tape, and then I'm just doing 4 quick staples to hold it in place. And also remember, safety first. And just like that, I am done. So that pneumatic stapler made really quick work. Probably the longest part was cutting out all the shapes. Now you might notice here that this piece looks a little bit different, and that is because I got my angle wrong and I did the reverse shape of what I needed. And you know what? It's going under the stairs. It's not going on a freestanding floor, so I just flipped it upside down, and that's how I'm going to use that piece. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to prepare for the stair runner, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these little pieces of tape out so I have a guide for the length of the runner. The stair is 34 inches and the runner is 26 inches, so that's an 8-inch difference. I'm going to want 4 inches on each side of the runner. And now I have the tape at the 4-inch mark, and that's going to just generally be a guide for stapling it in. I'm going to do that on all the other stairs, then we're ready to go. Now that I have all the padding done and I have the markers in place to use as a guide for the stair, whoops, yeah, that tape, even though I used delicate tape, it still pulled a little bit of the finish off. So if I were a better person, I would finish that, but I'm not, because I just want to get it done and it's going to be covered by carpet. So if I go up here, you'll see there's my stair runner. And what I'm going to do right now is just dry fit it a little bit and figure out what depth staple, what pressure I need to use, because this is a much thicker piece than the padding that I used. So we're going to figure that out, and then I'm going to get stapling. One more thing I want to point out is that this actually has finished ends. You can see this is what I mean by finished end, and it has a finished pattern. Now, I was thinking about just cutting it off so I didn't have to worry about patterns aligning, but I'm using 2 rolls. I've got 1 roll here and 1 roll down there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the pattern both starts and stops on the stair. So I'll use 1 roll from the bottom up and 1 roll from the top down so that that finished edge will be where everything finishes. So I finished the first few steps, and it actually is not that hard at all, but the only thing that I'm finding is that you can see the staple holes a little bit, but I'm sure I can fluff that over. So generally what I'm doing is I am wrapping it over the step and I'm securing it underneath that tread, and then I'm managing it on this crease here and on the sides here. So let me show you how I'm doing it. You ready for the grand reveal? Here it is. Here it is. It was actually not as hard as I thought until I got to the landing. But with that pneumatic stapler, it was actually pretty quick work. I would say the most time-consuming things were measuring out the guide on the steps and then cutting the padding strips to go on the treads on top. But the actual installation was really fast. Just, staple here and there, and then you're done. And I think it looks beautiful. Let me know what you think. Here is the entire finished product from top to bottom. Now, did I make mistakes? Yes, I did. Am I going to tell you what those mistakes are? No, I'm not. That's kind of the beauty of these DIY projects. Well, it's good and bad. You are the one making the mistakes, so you know where they are and you'll see them every time you look at your stairs. But overall, I'm actually pretty proud of how this looked, and it really came out exactly the way my vision was, which is not always the case when I'm doing home improvement stuff. If you have any questions about this, or if you try it and you run into any problems, let me know. Maybe I can help. Maybe I can help you figure out some of the things I had to figure out along the way. If you are interested in any of the materials that I used on this project, I'm going to put links down below so you can check out some of those as well, because I was really excited to find a good price for high quality products. And finally, let me just say, the difficulty level on this one I would say is intermediate, but if you have a straight staircase, I would consider this a beginner level project. It really was pretty easy to do, to install it, and although my stair project started with refinishing oak stairs and then unexpectedly having to put a stair runner down, I absolutely love the way this project turned out. So thanks for joining me, and it would help me out if you could give me a subscribe or even a like on this video. I will see you for more home projects that I am attempting to tackle. Thanks, guys.